Meredith, welcome to the 20-something podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Well, I'm Meredith Morrison. I do a lot of things. I go. My brand's name is RAC, stands for Random Acts of Kindness. The whole motto, slogan is do everything in love. But really digging deeper down and explaining to people why you do what you do. And it's not just because you need an income or you have kids to feed. It's because God gave you a purpose. Tell the world. Tell everyone. Tell absolutely everyone.
Okay, well, Meredith, welcome to the 20-something podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Remind me again, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20.
I'll be 21 next month.
Okay, so we're right, wait, what day next month?
The 6th of May.
My sister turns 21 the 5th of May.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so we're smack dab at the beginning of the 20s,
Yeah.
which is exciting. You're the youngest person I've ever had, so I've been really excited to do this episode because I feel like it's going to be a little bit different than somebody looking back on their 20s. We're kind of looking forward.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do,
Okay.
and then we'll jump into the bulk of it.
Okay, well, I'm Meredith Morrison. I do a lot of things. I go. So I'm starting a director of marketing position at the end of this month. I'm also a marketing developer for an apparel brand, and then I own a clothing brand.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're still in school.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yep.
I have homework due this weekend.
Yes.
So yeah, I graduate a couple days after I turn 21.
Okay. So college is kind of it's the beginning of the 20s, but also the start of the 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. The end of college, I feel, is when the 20s really start. I feel like my 20s didn't start till I was 22 because I was so excited to be 21 and be in college and all that. And then after college, it's this is actually it. So you're doing so much as a senior. Most people don't do that. Maybe an internship, maybe a part-time job. What was your thought process? Why are you doing all of this? Why did you decide to start now instead of waiting till after college?
I didn't really think about it. I didn't have a choice. I didn't come from much. I have been on my own since I was pretty young. I started school at 17. I'm graduating before I even get to experience being 21. Unfortunately, I got over the partying years very young, but it's also a blessing in disguise because now I can focus on life. But I want to be successful and all of the above before I even have kids. I don't want to try and grow myself while I'm trying to grow a human being. That's kind of the mindset behind that.
I love that. When did you start your brand?
Oh, okay. So I was going to go to school for fashion design. I was accepted to SCAD in Atlanta, the heart of Atlanta. That would have been atrocious.
Interesting.
But I decided not to go there. But I've always had an interest in clothing. Then I kind of lost track of it, and then I was in marketing. Marketing's kind of boring unless you make it fun. So I kind of blended the two together, and then eventually I figured out what entrepreneurship was. And my junior year, I added a dual major. So I have that and marketing. And that's just kind of how it came together about 2 years ago. And then I actually started the LLC last year.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your brand, what it is, what it stands for, the purpose of it.
Okay, so my brand's name is RAC, stands for Random Acts of Kindness. The whole motto, slogan is do everything in love. And it's from 1 Corinthians 16:14. I kind of have always just lived by that. For a long time, I didn't realize why that was the way I was. Only recently, in the last year and a half, 2 years, I realized it's because of God. And that's when I just started to kind of walk that path of life. So the whole thing is to spread love, kindness. I eventually want to have a charity, but right now it's basically just spreading love, kindness through apparel and being comfy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And okay, so we have sweatshirts.
Yes.
Is this all you've got right now, or what else?
Right now, yes, that's the only launch that I have, the first
Okay.
launch.
So-
There's gray, pink, and brown.
If
And
you're
then they're
watching on video,
oversized.
it says rack on the front, and then it says do everything in love on the back. And it's good quality.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah, I had a manufacturer, they lied about where they're located. So I don't align with their morals, so I dropped them. So
Okay.
I currently don't have a manufacturer.
Right.
If you know a manufacturer. But I actually, the last few weeks, I've started to think to myself, do I want to do this right now, or do I want to pause and focus on the 8,000 other things I'm doing for a little bit? But so I prayed about it, and yesterday I actually had a meeting, someone who wants to invest in my brand and provide all kinds of software and marketing software and help me with the brand.
That's
so I
incredible.
was about to halfway give up, and God was like, no, do it now.
that's incredible.
So yeah, I'm very excited for getting things started in June, hopefully. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what's next? What's getting started with the business?
But-
What are
okay,
you- what are
so-
you doing next?
Right now, my website is made by me, so I'm not a website developer,
Right.
and it's just with Wix. I don't like Wix. It's expensive, and trying to handle all the SEO and all the back-end stuff when I'm more of a face of the company, creative and things of that such has been really hard. So that's where this guy comes in, and that's where the getting started kind of starts. He has a whole software to build the website, handle SEO, marketing. I can make the content, put it in his software, and it posts everywhere that I need it to post.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm pumped. So it's just going to make things a lot easier in that sense. It'll save a lot of time. Time.
Time.
Nobody can find more time.
Not enough time.
Time is a big issue in some way. But yeah, really just getting more people to know about it. I don't like to talk about it, which is an issue. Like, how am I supposed to
Right.
have a successful clothing brand if I don't talk? So I'm starting to, this is out of my comfort zone.
Right. This is a big thing. This is a lot of talking.
Yeah. So I'm starting to put myself out there, meet people, and hey, what do you do? I have a clothing brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a big mindset shift for a lot of people. I used to never talk about the podcast
Yeah.
ever until like recently. And I heard somebody say you have to act as if.
Yes.
Like as if you are already in that position you want to be in. So they were like, you have to stop not telling people about your podcast. You have to answer, oh, I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many followers or listeners or buyers you have.
Yeah.
You got to kind of put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. Something that clicked to me, I've been scared of failing, and I've been scared of what people think, especially in a lot of ways. I don't have a very pretty past. No one does when they live life without Jesus in it. So I always think to myself, oh, like, is someone going to come out and try and cancel me? Go ahead. I'm a new person.
Yeah.
But I've realized the however many sweatshirts I sold, that's a lot of impact. And this person who saw me on LinkedIn, and that's how we connected, that impacted him enough to want to be involved in my brand and want it to be put out to everyone. So even if you're small, you're leaving a big impact still, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So I've had to get over that mental aspect of it and realize, who cares?
Yeah.
Go fail.
Yep.
Teach people why you failed. It's a lesson to learn.
Absolutely. So how did you get the investor? On LinkedIn?
Yeah. So we initially met a video call. A lot of people on LinkedIn, they just like meet and chat, just to like know each other. And so the first time we talked, it was just because I'm a marketing developer and he's a marketing developer. And we were like, no one else titles himself as marketing developer. And we were like, that's cool, like, nice to meet you. Then a couple months went by, and then we had the meeting yesterday, and that's just LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then this director of marketing position, the founder of that company I met on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never in my life would I think LinkedIn.
Right. I need a LinkedIn.
Yeah, I told you to get that.
I know. I'm gonna have to get that
Yeah.
figured out. That's really cool though. Did you ever think that you would have investors, or did you think you were gonna
No.
be all on your own?
I thought I would just do it alone. I don't want to give up
Mm-hmm.
my company. I don't want other people to come in who don't have the same morals as me. I didn't want to get to that point where I thought I had to do that.
Yep.
I don't want to put any morals aside because you can't, it just clashes.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. I considered getting a loan out when I had more time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather just do it from scratch the way I am for now.
Yeah. So are you working on another product launch then?
So yeah, I am. I need a manufacturer.
Right.
I don't want to go the route of print on demand. I would like to find an American-based manufacturing company where the labor is proper and all of that. At this point, I think I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah, really?
Not actually, but it feels like that. The other option is to buy bulk wholesale and then do the decoration myself. Time. I could use where I work now. I'm not sure about that route. But yeah, so that's a big stopping point, finding where I'm going to source the items. So right now it's a pre-order available soon. The designs are up, the colors are up. You'll see what it is, but yeah.
You just got to get manufacturing.
Yeah.
I think this is so important to talk about because the small business boom is happening right now with social media, and
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people think it's a whole lot easier than it actually is. Like I can't even imagine, like you said, you were kind of thinking about giving up for a little bit, not having like the money to be producing all. I can't imagine having a business where like you have to put a bunch of money into it and then just pray that that comes back to you. Like it's hard some days with this, and like this, I need this to be bringing me in more money, but I'm barely even spending any money on this. So I can't imagine being in your position where you're like, I just gotta put it out and hope it comes back.
Yeah, so the first batch of inventory, first and only, after registering, getting the website, building it, all of that stuff, buying a domain, and then paying for the product, I spent like over $3,000, and then not even 100 or not even 700 in sales back, which sometimes I look at that and I'm like, gee whiz. But honestly, I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have believed in myself if I wouldn't have done that. And learning lesson, you have to have a business bank account if you have an LLC.
Yep.
So I actually lost about another $300 because Wix wouldn't give me some of my sales because I didn't have a business bank account.
Gotta have the business bank account.
Yeah. College is supposed to teach you that.
College doesn't teach you any
No.
of this.
It does not.
Yeah, that was
Vocab
actually
words.
Yeah, another question I had was how you learned how to do all of this on your own.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because your marketing degree.
Yeah.
So you know how to market it.
Yes.
But all of the back end stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a mentor? Did you just kind of like hash out yourself?
Google. Actually,
Google?
no, not Google. ChatGPT. Everything. ChatGPT. How do I do this? No. Like, it just, everything. Yeah.
Okay.
It's done a lot of teaching for me. It's unfortunate. I used to refuse to use it. I had a sales class, and the professor made us download that. That's the first time I downloaded it.
Really?
And made us like send prompts and pretend sales calls back and forth with ChatGPT. And I would call my dad after class and be like, "This is so demonic, blah, blah, blah." But it's actually not that bad.
That's crazy. Yeah, I just recently started. I have no idea.
I still think it's weird sometimes.
Sometimes I'll ask it something and I'm like, how do you know that?
All it does is go on Google and find it way quicker. I send it pictures of my plant and it'll tell me how to fix my dying plant.
That actually would be useful to me.
Yeah, I can't keep my plants alive.
I feel like not allowed to have plants anymore in our house. Everybody else's, but.
Yeah.
So what's the big picture for your brand? What's the big goal? What do you want it to turn into?
Personally, I want that to be like my main focus, my main source of income. But I want it to turn into more the charity I mentioned a little bit. I want that to be the main thing. I need to navigate and learn how that becomes a thing, because I believe that has to become a not-for-profit, non-profit. And I don't know how to do any of the above.
Right.
But I want, like, what is it in North Carolina? The missions that go out and help with hurricane relief.
Yeah.
Samaritan's Purse. I want to be that big.
Okay.
I want everyone to know about RAC charity, Do Everything I Love charity, whatever the name will be. And I want to make a difference in that way.
Okay.
I don't know whether it'll be mental health or everything, just whatever it needs to go to. Addiction. One of my partners in business is starting or has a mission-based thing helping with addiction. So that's something that's inspiring as well.
Yeah.
But I ultimately just, impact. That's all that I really, positive impact. That's all I really wanted to do.
Yeah, I love that. So you brought some talking points
I did.
for the 20s.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch on some of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start to do that. I'm not good at remembering things, so I haven't.
That's fine.
But, okay, one of the first things, you don't have to have it all figured out in your 20s. The people that I surround myself with now, with Contractor Commander, they did not have it figured out that early in life.
No.
And they are amazing people.
Right.
And I've always thought to myself, like, have everything figured out before I have a kid.
Right.
And I need to tell myself this. Like, this is me preaching this is me preaching to myself. But I've always just thought I needed to graduate young, have all the jobs young, have house young, be married young, have a kid young. No, you don't. You do not.
No.
But whose timeline are you on?
Right.
Like, no.
Right.
You need to listen to what God has planned for you, and you start to go off from that path, and stuff doesn't work.
Yep.
And then you wonder, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
You're not listening. You're not obedient. So that's one of the big things there with that.
Yeah. There's such a rush.
Yeah.
And there doesn't need to be.
Yeah, and social media. I see young people making 75 grand off of a post every day, and I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
wish that could
It would
be
be
me.
nice. It would be nice, but then you have to remember, like, that's 1%
Yeah.
of the people. Less than 1%. Less than 1% of people in their 20s. Like, it's just, that's a one-off. Is it possible? Yeah. But also, if you're not there, it's totally fine.
I also start to wonder how certain people got there, if they did it the right way. And that's another thing. I will never stoop low to get money or drive my dream car. I want it, but this.
Yep. You
That
have so
matters.
much time.
Oh, yeah.
And you are already so far ahead from the typical 20-year-old, no offense to 20-year-olds, but like,
No, yeah.
I mean, I've always had the same mind, like I've had a similar mindset to you when I was 20. I'm 25 now, but I mean, I'm doing completely different things from what I was doing when I was 20. And I thought that I was so black and white then. I was like, all right, we're graduating, we're getting a job, we're gonna marry this person, and then we're gonna do boom, boom, boom. And none of that is where it is now. So the fact that you already know that and you're already surrounding yourself with people that are here and you also want to get there, that's huge. Because most 20-year-olds, which it's fine, you can do, if that's what you want to do at 20, that's totally cool. But like for you with the goals and the things that you have set out for yourself, it's awesome that you're already at that point where you're like, I'm going to be around these people who align with me and who I want to be like.
I honestly think in a way it's a blessing to be able to live your young 20s as an immature young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Because knowing that you have security at home or somewhere in your life where you can be young, it's nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's my statement on that.
Okay.
Okay, this next one. God reveals purpose through action. I don't really know how to dig into this one, but for example, my clothing brand. I sit back and I relax and I think it's just going to happen overnight. No, you have to wake up 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., and you have to do stuff. You can't spend all your time thinking, dreaming. You can pray all day, every day, but until you put your feet down and get out of bed or get off of scrolling off social media or stop pinning things on Pinterest, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Then nothing's going to change. Nothing's just going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's that, I don't know what it was on, but like you can't put a picture of a Lamborghini on your fridge and just expect it to show up in your driveway.
Yeah.
Can you have a Lamborghini? Yes. But you have to actually take the action steps to get there. And I think that's where people kind of mess it up because there's two sides to it too. It's like if you want to go down the manifestation route or if you want to go down like praying route, either or, people think, oh, I'll just pray or I'll just put it on my vision board and it's just going to appear because I asked for it. Well, no.
I have a vision board. I call it my prayer board. And I did it at the beginning of the year. I don't ever do things like everyone does it like the first of the year.
Yeah,
No, I think I did it in February.
Yeah.
But I did it last year as well, and I realized some things on it came true, but the things that did come true, I actually put work towards. So this next one I have has everything I ever want in my life.
Yeah.
And I just one thing at a time will start to be like checked off. And the things that this is mentioned with Contractor Commander, we have a Faithful Warriors group. We can get into that a little bit later. But something that was mentioned is if it's like not happening now, it's just not important now. Like the Lamborghini, the Porsche, the cafe I want in the next 5 years, it's not going to happen right now. So take the mental capacity that's being taken up, set it to the side, write it down so you don't forget in a couple of years and come back to it. Because right now in this moment, it is not important.
I like that mindset.
Yeah.
It opens up more space for what you're doing in the moment.
Yeah. And it doesn't completely dismiss it. It's not just like forget about it forever. It's just what is happening now and what you need now. You need to focus on now. And then what's for the future, it'll come. And if it doesn't, then it's not important.
Right. Then it wasn't meant for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay. Hustle versus rest.
Yeah.
I slept in this morning.
Nice.
A long time. And I do it once a week, every Wednesday, because that's my work from home day. I like to get up early. My boyfriend gets up and leaves by 5:30 in the morning. For a couple months, I started to get up and be awake that early. Then I just fell off. I'll get there. But so this morning, I slept in, and I tell myself, like, oh, I need it. I don't need it. I got my 7-8 hours of sleep. I don't need 3 more. But it's like a lie. I keep telling myself that I need it, but it's not true. I don't need it. I am just avoiding doing a lot of stuff. And something that I have a hard time deciphering the difference between is being lazy or resting. And resting needs to be intentional. And if it's not, then you're being lazy.
Yeah. I see that there's such a fine line between that, and I see it a lot working in the fitness industry. Because there's a big movement right now of like, you need to listen to your body and all this stuff, which I totally agree with because our bodies are very smart and they do know best. But it's getting taken to the point where like, people are just using that as an excuse to not do the work. And I'm the same way. I can't sit down. I can't rest. I can't not. If I'm sitting, I'm on my computer, I'm doing stuff all the time. So like, I'm like the opposite. Like I need to set aside the time to like intentionally rest. But then there's that other side of like, oh, well, my body's telling me I need to take a 3-hour nap this afternoon, or my body's telling me not to work out for the 4th day in a row. And it's like, where is that equal line?
Is it your body telling you, or is it your mind?
Exactly. And it's hard to differentiate. I mean, I get there a lot too. I'm like, shoot, I only slept 6 hours last night. Like, should I work out or should I not? I probably will, but I'm also like, I could just be like, no, my body needs the rest.
Yeah. I took off time from the gym. I used to be in love with the gym, and then I got vertigo at the ripe age of 19 with vertigo.
Nice.
No comment. That doesn't even make sense. But so I used that excuse like, oh, I'm too dizzy. But if I would have gone in and put some work into my body, it would go away. If I would drink my water, if I would eat the food I need to eat, it goes away. And it only comes when I don't eat right, sleep right, all of the above.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere with this.
You're good. There's building blocks. Like, just like with fitness is like the easiest way to talk about it because everybody knows like the building blocks of your health is like exercise, eat well, sleep well, drink water, decrease your stress. But there are also fundamentals of business and like your career and all of that. So if you're doing those things, poof, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I've got 10 extra listeners a week or 5 extra customers, or my reels are increasing. You got to do my boss always says, do basics better. And I think that applies to literally everything.
I like that. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the, like how you mentioned earlier, the personal, getting into your personal page and not just your podcasting page.
Yeah.
No, I don't do anything personal, but at my job, we've reached 55,000 views on YouTube. If I would spend 10 minutes making a little video, sitting and talking about the talking points I have here, about do everything in love and rack, maybe things would be where I want them to be.
And you never know when it's going to pick up either. I'm the same way. I'm really bad about making my own content. But like, I'm so bad about mine, but my sister is trying to build like a brand. She does integrative nutrition and she's graduating, and I'm like, okay, you got to do this and this, and I can help her just fine and tell her what to do, and I see her doing it and it's going well, like cool, and then somebody tells me to do mine, I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, one of my friends has a crochet brand,
cool,
and she didn't have a LinkedIn, so I like went in and made her a whole LinkedIn account, started making content for her. I'm going to her market this weekend to make content for her.
Cool.
When am I going to do that for myself?
Exactly.
I have the time to do it. I just need to do it.
Okay, so that's our takeaway. Is if you can do it for someone else, you can make the time to do it for your brand too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I want to go to real life advice.
Okay.
No one is coming to save you.
Right.
For a few years, I sat there thinking to myself, the right person will come along and will give me the right advice, tell me exactly what I need to do, or put me exactly in the place I need to be. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not. All I did was sit in my bedroom and wait.
Yep.
You have to, and we've touched this many times throughout this, but get up and do it. And put your faith in God and really just go out there. And it's like movies, they're not real. No one is going to come save you on a big, white, beautiful horse.
Right. No, you have to get out. You have to put yourself in the right rooms and in the right situations. And if you surround yourself with people that are successful or that are doing well in life, you'll notice that they are asking questions and they are here and there, and they're full. Their schedule is full. They're out doing this, they're out doing that. And if they're talking to you, they're intentional about it. They're asking you questions. They're talking to you. And that was a big thing I learned too, because I always knew like, okay, nobody's just going to like drop the opportunity in front of me, but I was like, I don't really know how to go get it. But the more I talk to people like with this podcast who are doing really cool things, the more I'm realizing like, oh, okay, you have to be so curious.
Yes.
Because a person will come on, like Justin came on, and like he's asking me questions. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like I love the back and forth conversation, but that really sparked it in my head of like, okay, you got to be curious. You got to ask questions and talk to people, and the right people are going to help you.
One of the things I've learned with that is dress who you want to be. So dress like the business professional if you want to be that. Just act
as if.
Act
As if. Yep. It falls into everything. It really does. And it feels, you can almost get like imposter syndrome sometimes because it's like, okay, but I literally yesterday I was thinking this because I've been trying to make a lot of content for the podcast, Instagram and stuff, and I haven't posted anything yet, but I was like, who cares? I was like, I'm not doing this. And then today I was like, no, it literally you are. Like everybody's doing it. It doesn't matter. You gotta act as if you're already at the top of whatever accounts or whatever podcasts you look up to and just freaking do it.
Yeah. Post like you have thousands of people watching.
Yeah.
Talk as if you have a bunch of fans and supporters, and it will definitely come.
My dad used to tell me, like, if you walk into a room confidently, nobody's ever going to question you. Like, if you are worried about going in somewhere because you don't know what to do or you don't know where to go, walk in there as if you freaking own the place and nobody will question you. And it's so true.
Something I used to do when I went out to eat, like in cafes or whatever, this was like so weird to me now that I've like gotten out of it, but I would not take big bites. I would like shrink and make myself unnoticeable.
Yep.
And literally just in the last 2 weeks, I started taking those big bites, and I posted about this on TikTok. And someone commented and was like, now this is a testimony. And I was like, it's so funny like to think that way, but it really is. Because the devil wants us to shrink and not show our purpose and who we are. And you start to walk with your shoulders back and confident, and it just made a huge difference in my confidence. Certainty. We talked about that in our Faithful Warriors group. The difference between confidence and being certain. Very different things, but they get mixed a lot. So I've been more certain in who I am and who I want to be.
Yeah.
And taking my big bites of food that I am enjoying has made me realize that.
I really like that. So break that down a little bit more for me, the difference between confidence and certainty.
Okay. I don't know, like, literally. It was Justin who explained it. But confidence is like, in my opinion, the way you see yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
How you look, how you feel about yourself. And then I feel like certainty comes into play with when you're certain about the path that God has you on and certain that you are a child of God. I think of everything spiritually. I believe that everything is spiritual. So being certain in what God wants you to do and who you are, your identity, that's what I play as certainty. And then I play confidence as this outfit. I had a really cute outfit planned for the day, and then I was like, nah, I'm gonna be comfy.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have the confidence to identify as the cutesy little businesswoman.
Yeah.
It's all happening right before our eyes.
No, I like that a lot. I've never heard somebody talk about it that way, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was talking about confidence earlier, actually. And yeah, that makes sense. Like there's confidence, people really just label that as like your physical appearance, whereas you can tell when somebody's really certain of themselves, and that's more quote unquote attractive.
Yeah.
Whether it's like relationship or friendship or partnership, like you want somebody who you're like, that person knows who they are and what they want, and I want to be in the same room as them.
When I'm at home, I feel very certain, or if I'm in like a small group of people that I know, I'm certain that of who I am. But then I go out in public and I'm like walking alone and I don't show myself as being certain. So that's when I start to kind of shrink myself down, and I need to start to do it everywhere. Everywhere I go, no matter who I'm around, alone with people. Just need to be very certain in who I am.
And if you kind of keep that at the front of your mind, you'll notice when you're out and about the differences in a certain person and an uncertain person. Just walking down the street, it's like, oh, because your eye is drawn to somebody who is like and they're not even trying, they're just being themselves. And to me, that's admirable. Some people are like, oh, that person's it. I'm like, okay, well, I've got other things to worry about. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's something that was just brought up yesterday about like that person. When you start to notice flaws in other people and the way they act or how they present themselves, and it starts to bother you, you need to look at yourself. You really need to look at yourself. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes internally, I am a brat. And I see someone walking around confident and like they're certain in themselves. And in my head, I think, oh, they're so full of themselves. No, they're not. They are not. And it's just because that's what I lack. And that's where I need to be.
I think that brought up like humility in my mind of like, oh, they're so full of themselves. There's a difference. You can be very certain and you can be not humble. You got to be over in this realm because like, there are people who are out there who are just like off. They are full of themselves. That's different from being, and you can tell. It's like, okay, that person is like off, they're trying to get the whatever and whatever, let them do them. But certainty does not make the excuse to be not humble and arrogant.
Absolutely. The next thing, I have 2 more that I really want to cover. Actually, 3 more.
Go for it.
So I'll start with this one. Your character is more than your resume.
Agreed.
I didn't do any extracurricular activities. I didn't do anything in high school. I was in Key Club and never went to a single meeting.
What is Key Club?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't show up.
Okay.
Something in high school. Some like leadership. I don't know what they did. Like literally did not know. All my friends were in it. So I was like, okay, I'll be in it. Then I never showed up. I played sports, but I didn't show up in sports as much as I could have. And then college, I didn't go to any of the events they had. I didn't go to any, what is it, when you meet people?
Oh, like, I don't know. I didn't go to them either.
Like the business term for meeting people.
Oh, networking.
Yes. That. I didn't do that ever. But my resume was, I've been working since I was 15, and that's that. Take it or leave it. And then I started to realize that people were not hiring me because of my resume. They were hiring me because of the person I was. And it's a blessing that I met people that hired me because of who I was and not my resume, because there was nothing on that resume. But it goes to show a lot of the people who make their resume look perfect in some way, they lack a lot of their own personal development. And especially when you're young, you need to figure out who you are, who you want to be, and really develop yourself and carry yourself in some way before you can go wave your beautiful resume in front of people's faces. Because someone will look at this and be impressed, and then they look at you and they're like, I wouldn't trust you to run my company.
Exactly. I think unless you want to end up in a company that doesn't really care about you, your resume isn't all that important in this space. There are obviously certain jobs where you have to have that experience, but like, I mean, I have a health science degree. Like, what are you supposed to do with that besides personal train? Nothing. So anything else that I want to pursue, it's more about the conversations I'm having and the people that I'm meeting and them getting to know who I am and what my work ethic is. Because in my opinion, you can learn anything. You can teach somebody something. Like, throw me in, I'll learn in a week. It's not on my resume, but teach me, I'll learn.
Yeah. Before I got this marketing developer job, I didn't have any experience with hands-on work except building my own brand. I had ambition, entrepreneurial spirit, and all I did was learn constantly.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah. And it's definitely different depending on the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
But even if you're in the industry where the resume is all that matters, you still need to have
Some
personal development. Don't put that on the back burner.
Right. Yeah. I think core values are really important with like yourself, but also in your professional self and in the company that you're going to work for.
Another resume aspect, certificates. They're super simple. There's a lot of free ones. Something on LinkedIn, some account like Something Girl Marketing, they post every month free certificates you can go get.
Oh, cool.
And you go take a little lesson, and then you take a little exam, and then you have a certificate. And a lot of them are marketing based, and then some of them are just like life and personal development type of certificates that not only look good, but they say a lot about who you are because you went out of your way to learn something new.
Yeah.
Like your resume says marketing, but your certificate is completely different.
Right. That's so cool. You'll have to send me
that.
her.
I can do that.
Yeah, and I'll put it in here, but I also want it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can honor God through your work. Okay, so I'll touch into contractor commander. We handle, right now, the main service that we do is admin for service-based companies, so like landscaping, concrete, all of that stuff, cleaning, whoever needs us. And a lot of times, the people that we're meeting with, they have faith, but you wouldn't know because they don't talk about it and they don't show it. And one of the companies, it's one of our first clients, he started sending out newsletters talking about the whole purpose behind his company and how God, just God. And it's made a huge difference in his company by really talking about the internal parts of it and not just, hey, I can fix your grass.
Right. Yeah.
So honoring God through your work makes a huge difference, and it brings a lot of value. And it's not like you're just using God.
Right.
A lot of people now it's become a trend. I don't know if you've noticed. It's become a trend to have faith, and I got dressed for Jesus today to go to church. That stuff irks me. I'm not going to get into it. But really digging deeper down and explaining to people why you do what you do, and it's not just because you need an income or you have kids to feed or you have a wife that you want to be able to let work from home. It's because God gave you a purpose. Tell the world. Tell everyone. Tell absolutely everyone. With my clothing brand, I don't think I would get anywhere if I just did it just because without having the whole purpose behind it being visible. The whole About Me section on my website goes into detail about what God has done in my life and how spreading love and kindness is just everything. But if it was just spreading love and kindness just because, or spreading love and kindness because God, I feel this has more power than just because.
Yeah, like anybody can, like, say it's a lawn care service. Like, you can get your lawn care from whoever, but people want the people or the purpose behind the brand. And I see that with like a lot of the social media stuff I'm learning. Like, people want to know the people behind the brand and not just what the brand can do for them, because they want to feel a connection. So
Emotional connection.
Yeah.
It's a big, big thing, especially in business. Like, people know who you are and they like who you are and realize that internally you're just a decent person, they're more inclined to be involved with you and keep you around and invest in you, not money-wise, but time-wise and with their connection with you.
100%. I love that point.
This is the last one that I really want to touch on. Okay. You're not too young to lead, launch, or impact. I don't tell people my age. It is something that I keep near and dear to myself because no one hears, oh, you're 20, you can lead my business or you can be the director of marketing. So Justin didn't even know my age until, I don't know, when I told him. But even sometimes now, because I didn't bring it up in the beginning, he now, after knowing, will be like, how old are you again? And I'm like, 20. And he's like, oh, what did I do? No, but people have a hard time believing that young people can actually put in the effort and handle it. But we can. If you find younger people that have the drive and the ambition and just all the care in the world to do what they really want to do, they can most definitely do it. And I think that's something that holds younger people back. It did for me for a while, until I got to Caps to You. But I used to think like, oh, no one's going to hire me because I'm only 20 or 19 or however old I was at the time. But once I put that lie to the side, because it's just not true, it's just a made up thing in my head that was holding me back. Once I put that to the side, things just started opening up, just like it just came out of nowhere. That's just a big thing that I wanted to bring up. Your age is just a number in some senses. I totally agree. Don't let it hold you back at all.
Yeah, if you feel like you have something to offer, go ask for it. I mean, the worst somebody can tell you is no. But, I mean, there are so many, it's different these days. There's so many different avenues you can take and ways you can learn, and if you feel like you have the experience and the passion and the work ethic and you can offer help to somebody, like, why couldn't you get it versus Nancy, who's been in the company for 40 years, you know? I don't, no offense to those people, but I think our generation kind of gets looked down on sometimes in the career world of things, but no, I totally agree. Your age has nothing to do with it.
Absolutely. There's this guy on TikTok that I watch. He does interviews. He goes and interviews like very rich people.
Hard Knock?
Yes.
Yes.
And one of these really old men said that he thinks our English generation has something going for us because a lot of us do have that drive and the ambition to just get there. And for a while we were looked at as lazy and the TikTokers doing dances. But it's refreshing seeing that ones that are high up there do see that in the younger people.
Which, side note, if people listening don't follow, I think it's the School of Hard Knocks or something like that.
Yes, it is.
Awesome account.
Yeah.
The people he talks to,
cool.
Very cool people. Very cool things that they have to say. And I would like to have him on the podcast.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, because I think that's a really cool business and brand that he built. And sometimes I wonder, I mean, I'm sure now people kind of know of him or he can show credentials, but like in the beginning, I was like, how is he just running up to these billionaires? And they're just,
I want to learn how he got there.
Which goes back to what I said about like successful people are willing to help you. Like look at all of these people who they don't have to step aside and tell you XYZ, like they're fine, but they're going to take the time to talk to a Gen Zer about how to be successful because they know and they want to help.
Yeah, people who are successful that want to help and don't want to just keep it all to themselves, you have a special place in my heart. I love you. Being open to sharing what you know, even if you're really young and you're not super successful, a little piece of advice that you feel you've only known and someone comes in to your realm of existence and brings it up and you have somewhat of an answer for them, give it to them. That could be a life-saving moment for someone, and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, doesn't take anything away from you.
Right. Just some air to speak.
Right. Okay, so I guess to kind of sum everything up, is there anything that you want to leave listeners with today? Maybe something that you live by, or a piece of advice you were given, or anything that you want to just tie it up?
Something I live by is do everything. It's tattooed on me. Do everything in love. And it's not just like love everyone. It's not just be kind to everyone, but show them grace. Everyone is navigating this hard, difficult life, and no one knows what they're doing. No one. Not even you. Even if you think you have it all figured out. That and be perfectly imperfect. Perfect is boring.
Yep.
Very boring. Learn your lessons, share what you've learned, and just embrace who you are. Embrace the stumbling and the English you apparently don't speak.
Yeah. No, I love that. So, okay, where can everybody follow you and support your brand and all of that jazz? And then I'll put it in the notes as well.
Okay, my personal account is With Love Edith. It's WLUV Edith. And then Rack is Rack by Edith, RAK.
Okay, and your website is linked on there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That'll be
Cool.
easier.
Cool. I'll put all of that in there. But yeah, if y'all want to support her, go check out the sweatshirts.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for coming on.
I had fun.
I did too.
I was nervous. I don't know why.
You did great.
Yeah.
You
I
had
can
a lot
talk
of good
a lot
points.
if I'm into it.
No, that was really good.
Thank you.